Hey again, folks. So my last video I did was on the Playseat challenge, and I was discussing whether or not, after the amount of time we've had with it since for 2021, if it was still worth the bank in the buck. And if you want to check that out, it is down in my YouTube channel here. I'll put the link down below in the description. But now there has been something that I've been asked for since I was talking about the wheelbase and all that when I was going to switch it. And obviously I talked about having the Logitech G29 as the base I was using. So I guess that kind of brings me to my next thing about is the Logitech G29, 920, 923, or anything below that still worth it in 2021 leading into 2022. As I'm recording this, it is October. We're near 2022 season. And I would say probably the biggest thing is it depends on your kind of gaming and your racing, if you will. For sim racers, many folks out there say the Logitech line is just not worth the price of admission anymore. Why is that though? Well, again, what I'm going from is from a NASCAR heat to the Wreckfest to Need for Speed and all that. I'm going from that into legitimate simulation, which is iRacing, Assetto Corsa, and Race Room and all of them. That's where I am now pretty much racing at. So biggest problem I'm noticing is folks when they talk about the differences between Logitech G29 and what I now have, which is a Thrustmaster T300. I'll probably do my own review of that. Is they seem to forget sometimes where this market wheel is probably coming from. This isn't really to start being more of a better driver. This is just to start really getting you more into sim racing. And one thing I've noticed is that if you start with games like NASCAR Heat, Need for Speed, and even anything really arcade racing, even I would say Wreckfest probably would be okay for you if you know how to set the thing up here. I would say probably more than anything, it's okay to have a Logitech G29 into 2021, 2022, whatever time you're going to need, or 920, 923. But it does come with a risk because, again, you're looking at, obviously, the whole point of this wheel is that it is a gear-based design. So that gear-based end on the wheel, it's not going to be as translating as smoothness from like a belt drive like I got now to say from going from an arcade to simulated racing. It may work with Gran Turismo to an extent, but I would even say for the most part, a belt drive to Advantech line direct drives or any of their belt drives, if you could find one aftermarket, would be just fine. So really, the whole point of this video is just to tell you guys, yeah, I have used the G29 and my thoughts on it is a good wheel when I'm running it on NASCAR Heat, or if I guess NASCAR 21 when it comes out here soon enough. But I don't really feel like anything past arcade sims is it worth your time. And I hate saying that because, again, it's a really well built wheel. This thing has been through the mud, the garbage, and everything. I've destroyed this thing like multiple times using it, but I never broke it, which is pretty impressive to me considering I can be very aggressive when I'm on the track, and I will have no trouble making sure that wheel works and I got all my force feedback out of it. So again, it really all just depends on what do you look for and what are you after when you're out in the racing market. And like I said, if you're going with a arcade sim for your racing style, then by all means, gear drives and a belt drive, perfect, they work fine. And the G29, 920, 923, it'll work the way you need it to for those. But anything past that, I would say you need to go higher up. I mean, T300 at the least would be your best wheel for really getting better as a driver. I will say T150, which a couple of my friends now own, and they've been winning races with it. I would say kind of that mix of gear and belt works perfectly. Hybrid. At the time making this, Thrustmaster has a T48 coming out. I personally have never used it, and I don't know any of my friends that have it. So just be aware that that is another idea you can use, and that is another wheel to look into. As a package deal, it'd be all right. And I guess the last thing I'll leave you with is, again, yeah, that package deal. I mean, again, if you're thinking about not owning a pedals and a wheel and you're just starting into sim racing, then this is probably the best wheel for you for your bang for your buck. At the time of the making this, I think they were going for about 350, about 400 at the worst. That's kind of the same way the T300 was for me. I just got the base. I didn't need the pedals. I still have the pedals in my box. I didn't use them. Why bother? I got V3 pedals. I'll do a review on those soon enough. So yeah. Anyway, that's kind of my overall thoughts with Logitech G29. Overall, like I said, if you want something to start with, this is a good start with pedals and wheel in mind. But it's not a good long term. I hate saying that, but it's not good long term. And it's not because of reliability issues. It's not because of design flaws. It's just because the wheel is not substantial for keeping you fast and also being overall well enough to help keep your momentum and keep your runs going when you go into the iRacing, Assetto Corsa, race room levels of simulation and control. It just unfortunately just does not do the trick. It's not as smooth, and it really is not the base you really need for that kind of stuff. If you want to be long-term racing, short-term racing, you may be able to get away with it, but like a dirt track. But after that, honestly, it's very substantial. You get something that is smoother, so you can learn how to get better as a driver and save your tires, and also work better on the track and off the track, in my opinion. So that's my overall thoughts, guys. If you do like my thoughts or just have something to say, feel free to comment down below. How wrong am I? Do you disagree? Do you agree? You know, let us know. Let me know. Also, if you still want to see the V3 pedal review, or you want to see the Butt Kicker Gamer 2 review or any of that stuff, please let me know down in the comment section down below. And of course, I think sooner or later I'm going to do a T300 review. I'm still getting some kinks fixed out on that one, but I've had so much fun with it, and as I'm recording it, I've actually won a lot more on asphalt with it than I have with this, so I have no complaints there, but that's just me for now. Anyway, thanks guys. Y'all take it easy now.